My question, I just wanted to more so provide context for the community. The mayor shared in terms of that the previous administration had asked for additional funding to fulfill the need. As the community is likely well aware by now that in the last almost 6 months, we've seen a number of different funding items where the former mayor was very cavalier, which is a very fancy word for very bold, in how she was utilizing the authority granted by the city council with adopted budget line items and how it was spent. And so Legislative Council Sharp had shared with council leadership, this was one example where the city council was certainly committed to seeing that parks be maintained and grass cut, but that they did not want to overfund it in a way that would then be redirected or diverted not for that intended purpose. And so it was an intended check and balance, and this is sort of a now seasonally very time-sensitive matter that's before us. So I just want to give that context for council, since the council staff that had been there on the ground at that time was able to give that context for us. Any further discussion? We have a motion that's before us that takes funding from various general ledger accounts and redirects it to contractual mowing services in the total of $170,000. That's from professional service tree services, subtracting $64,000, recreation supplies parks, subtracting $66,000, other professional services, minus $20,000, and park and neighborhood projects, minus $20,000 rather, and that transfers, it equates to $170,000 that can be now reapplied and reallocated specifically for contractual mowing services for the balance of the fiscal year. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, speakers list is exhausted. We now move into roll call and adoption of the resolution to approve the budget amendments. Clerk Doyle.
James.
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Nicholson.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Rutherford.
Yes.
Carrington.
Yes.
Goodman.
Yes.
7 yeas, no nays.
That motion carries. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution to approve the salary for the positions of Deputy Finance Director at a salary of $94,000 and the Senior Financial Analyst at a salary of $90,000 for fiscal year 2021-2022?
I make the motion, but I have a question.
Is there a second?
Support.
It's been moved by Rutherford, seconded by Nicholson. Question to Rutherford. You have the floor.
Mayor Grandma, can you elaborate on why we're doing this and what actually happened with the previous administration to give clarity to the community, please?
Absolutely. In fact, I was already planning to do so.
Thank you, sir.
And, you know, as we've discussed many times at these meetings in recent months, the previous administration willfully and knowingly spent beyond the authorized amounts set by City Council. That is something that we have made a very concerted effort to get away from. Obviously, we believe that we have two co-equal branches of government, that this is a partnership between City Council and the Mayor's office, and that Council has to approve budgetary items. And in this case, there are really two aspects to the budget. There's